We know past performance is the best predictor of future performance. How do we know past performance? Well, we know because we worked with them, we looked at them, et cetera, et cetera. Often we see that. A CEO moving from one organization going to the other brings a whole management team with them. Why? They worked with them before. They know what they're worth. They know, et cetera. So the core questions here is, can we revive that? Can we re-give something that lost its efficiency because often of legal issues into something that is really valuable in the business? And we think we've done that at Checkster, which is very interesting because when we look at the traditional process, as we've seen, and this is based on 154 practitioners, you can see that typically people will spend about 76 minutes to do a process to get about, that will take 3 to 7 days, and we'll get about 2.4 references, and will only very seldom put someone on the side. And often we just ask ourselves, why do we do that? And I see some head nodding there. Why do we do that? That's the questions I ask to the VP of HR. Just say, what is the last time you essentially ask someone not to be hired because of a bad reference check? And bear in mind, they're hiring thousands and thousands of people every year. And she says, I think we had 2 or 3 in the last 5 years. Well, the ROI may not be there, okay? And so how did we transform that? What we did is, we did it digitally, leveraging the collective intelligence methodology. There is a whole body of research there. The MIT started center about collective intelligence, about how to make sure you can leverage the intelligence and not the group thing. And what it does first as a value is to give back typically an hour of time to your recruiters or your HR people or your hiring managers, depending on who's doing it. That's number one. And you just say, okay, that's a good efficiency side, but at the end of the day, I'm doing it more than for the compliance. And some of you may do it for compliance because they have to, and they have to check the box. That will be the big value for it. But the other values, which is very interesting, is not only the faster process, typically in 2 days, but it's also the number of people that you get, and the number of people as respondents, and the number of people that you will put aside. Typically, we see 10 to 12% of the people participating in that will be put aside. And you could say, how that can be? Because most of the time, you can say, hey, we have a policy not to give any references. How that can work? And what we've seen is that on average, when you do it digitally, when you do it online like we do, employees will invite 8 references, 8, yes, 6 will respond. Out of those 6, what we see, the candor, the openness is so much different because it's digital, it's confidential. We literally have seen people writing, don't hire this individual. That you probably rarely have when you do it over the phone, which is sometimes counterintuitive. But one of the very interesting elements that happen is the fact that individuals are also monitored into what we are not paying specific attention to. I'll give you an interesting anecdote. We do have a number of retail organizations that use the product, and what they do, they ask individuals to do that, and those candidates, they just say, great, you asked for references, I'm going to be my own references. And they create essentially fake email addresses and start to create them online. Obviously some integrity issues there. We have some, and I won't name names, but some organizations where it's up to 9% of what we call fraudulent behaviors. So that's unheard of. So these start to be seen as something different than the traditional telephone and getting feedback. That's objective wrong behaviors that you can take on the spot. So those are a couple of benefits. The third one that I will mention is the fact that those 8 people and 6 responding, you can ask them, hey, in the future, are you potentially interested in a job in an organization? Those are the references. This is an extension of our employee referral program, and we call it a candidate referral program. Search firms have been doing that for years. This works great. This is very, very powerful. So you have here 3 key benefits, and I won't go into more details of that, but what it gives you is the ability to be truly analytics-driven leveraging collective intelligence to make better talent decisions in order for you to hire at the time of a hire or promote. It is used by some of our organizations, promote people internally. And collective intelligence that we have seen can deliver high value for your organization.